Hey lovelies, welcome to my channel. I am really excited for today's video because we are going to be using the Wayne Goss, the Luxury Eye Palette in Imperial Topaz. So this is Wayne's first launch as far as eyeshadows go, and I am so very excited for this palette. I'm also incredibly excited because this is my very first collab here on YouTube. I'm working today with Jennifer over at My Decadent Life. You guys, go check her out because you are going to love her. She is so sweet. She is a fellow hairdresser like myself, so we're kind of soul sisters in that way. We both love rose gold hair, and I've just really enjoyed her channel. And she has already introduced me to some amazing products, and I just love her vibe. Like, she's super chill, relaxed. She has a really adorable, infectious giggle that I really love. And she has a lot of clean beauty products. So I think if you are really into the clean beauty scene, you will love her channel. So again, I am so honored to be able to collab with her today, and I will make sure to leave all of her information in the description bar. I will have her video linked and also her Instagram account so you guys can check her out there. Now, if you're here from Jennifer's channel, hello, it is so great to meet you. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video as well. If you find something of value here, I hope that you consider subscribing and joining me here on my channel. So if you guys are wondering why I have two different eye looks on, it's because I'm kind of doing a day to night transformation for you guys. I have the day look up on Instagram right now if you would like to check that out. My Instagram account is Keep Beauty Real, and I'd love to see you there, but we will be transforming this into this lovely, sultry, smoky eye look. I think that this is really a great way to see just how many possibilities you have within this palette. So I'll really be digging into the value of this palette and what I think of the formulas, and of course showing you this look. So if you're interested in that, let's get right into it. Now, just a little backstory. I have to tell you guys, I have been watching Wayne here on YouTube probably since I started watching YouTube. Like, I think he was one of the first 5 people I ever subscribed to. I am just so in love with him as a makeup artist and really appreciate him as a human being. Like, he seems like such a kind soul, and I was so excited to be able to support him in this. And I have quite a few of his brushes. Actually, let me show you my little eye brush hoard. So here is my little collection of Wayne Goss eye brushes. I think his brushes just can't be beat. They are hands down my favorite eye brushes. I do also have a few of his face brushes, but really his eye brushes are what I keep very close to my heart. And we will of course be using some of these today with our look. I really appreciate Wayne's aesthetic as a makeup artist. He's really looking for that like enhanced natural beauty. Not that he can't do dramatic looks or that he doesn't, because he certainly does, but I think it's, you know, something that's going to look beautiful in person. And I really value that because day to day, most people aren't going to be in front of a camera, in front of, you know, professional lighting. So it's all about having something that works for the average person. And I think that that's something that you'll definitely find within this palette. So again, this is the Luxury Eye Palette in Imperial Topaz, and this palette is $55. And I'm going to get more into breaking down the pricing in just a second, but this is shade 1 over here, which is a light champagne with a satin finish, and shade 2 is a soft bronze with a satin finish. Shade 3 is a rich black with a matte finish. And then you have shade 4, which is definitely my favorite. This is a copper rose with a satin finish. And then you have shade 5, warm brown with a matte finish. And then you have shade 6, which is sparkling champagne with a shimmer finish. And this one really is more like a topper. Wayne even said that in his launch video that he did here on YouTube. And it doesn't surprise me that this is what Wayne chose to launch as his first eye collection, because it's a beautiful set of amazing basics done well, and it's something that really every person, every skin tone, and let's say every age group could use, because this will look good even on textured lids. Now, just to break down some of the pricing with you guys, you might look at this and think, wow, $55 for 6 shades, but there is a decent amount of product in here. And I love the fact that he made these pans pretty large so that any brush is going to be able to fit in them. You know, sometimes you get these like little fancy palettes that have like that tiny little like needlepoint shadow color and you have to go in there with a pencil brush. This is great because if you just want a beautiful like sweep of color over the lid, you could put a big fluffy brush in and just sweep it over and be done for the day. So I like the size of these pans. Now, I wanted to compare cost per gram with you on some other pretty well-known shadow formulas. So to break down cost per gram, which to me is really where you see the value in a palette, because it's going to tell you how much you're paying for what you're getting. So the Wayne Goss Luxury Eye Palette is $55. It obviously has 6 shades, and it breaks down to $3.40 a gram. If you look at the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette that just recently launched, that one is $65. It has 15 shades, and it comes out to $3.56 per gram. So it is a little bit higher price, but you do get more shades, although I have to be honest, I feel like a lot of those look pretty similar. But that's just another kind of comparison for you. Now, if you look at the Charlotte Tilbury luxury eyeshadow palettes, and there are a couple that have, you know, more neutral themes, those have 4 shades. They're $53 and they come out to $10.60 a gram. Now, here's another one. I think a lot of people use Anastasia shades, and if you look at the Soft Glam palette, which again is a beautiful neutral palette, that one is $42. It has 14 shades, but that comes out to $4.05 a gram. So other than the Charlotte Tilbury, the Anastasia has the highest price. Are you guys surprised by that? One thing is, if you're someone who wants a wide variety of shades and you're looking for something that is, you know, more shade options versus like getting your value in the cost per gram, that might be something that doesn't matter to you. Now, you might be like, I love my Soft Glam, I want to have 14 different shades, but again, I think that this luxury eye palette was really meant to just be that standard, like, basics that you could use every day, combine it with anything, and it would be lovely. So that's just a little price breakdown on that. Now, I did also pick up one of the Essential Kohl pencils. This is the Precious Opal shade, which is the like shimmery bronze, which honestly, I wouldn't really say that this is like shimmery to me. I did see swatches compared to the, you know, normal brown, but this doesn't have like a reflective quality. It's not like super shimmery, but I would say it's more like a satin finish than it is a matte finish. But this color has maybe just a tiny bit more warmth to it, which is what I was really interested in because I think that that pairs well with my eye color. So we will look at the pricing of this. Now, this Kohl pencil is $14, and that breaks down to $12.28 a gram. I think another like really popular eye pencil is the Urban Decay 24/7, and that one isn't a Kohl pencil, but it does really like smudge out really well. That one is $22, and that breaks down to $18.33 a gram. So I really think that this is a pretty reasonable price for this Kohl pencil. Now, I will say, when I have used this Kohl pencil, I find that it is very, very soft, and there's a reason for that because it's meant to be able to be used on any age lids. So you want something that's pretty soft, something that you're not gonna have tugging at your eyelids, and something that smudges out well. So if you look here, I just smudged out that shade. So you could actually get it to like almost like a like mid-tone kind of like warm camel shade, if that makes any sense. But I will say that I do think that I will go through this fairly quickly. Like the first time I used it, the sharp point was completely gone by the end of one eye look. So I think you'd really have to sharpen this between each eye look if you want that like super crisp line. But it is a very pretty pencil. All right, so let's swatch this palette and then we'll get into the eye look. Okay guys, sorry, I decided to turn down my light kind of partway through. I feel like it was sort of blowing out the look of these shadows. Oh, look at that black. Now I will say this black is something that you have to build a little bit, but I can appreciate that because Wayne was really looking to have this as like almost a mixing medium. So to be able to intensify and darken other shades within the palette. So I think that, you know, this can really be built up to a beautiful like dark, dark black, but it's also more user-friendly because it can be blurred out a little bit. Now here we have that Copper Rose shade, which is gorgeous. That's like the primary color that is on my lid today. Super beautiful. And then we have this nice like matte brown, and it's got a little bit of warmth to it. So I like that because, you know, darker skin tones, that will work really well with. Got that one. And then we've got this final shade. I'm gonna put this on my pinky here. Now, again, this is really best used as a topper, in my opinion, or maybe over like a primer that has a bit of opacity to it. So it's beautifully reflective. Kind of reminds me of the ones in like the Charlotte Tilbury palettes. So there are all the swatches for you. Now, if you want to see some gorgeous swatches, I know she hasn't gotten this palette, but my friend Kara over at Beauty and the Frizz, she's like the swatching queen. So if you haven't seen any of her videos, go watch. I keep telling her she needs to do a swatching masterclass. All right, I brought you guys in kind of close so that we can make this into a nighttime look. And I think that that's something that is really great about this because it does have basics, but they can build and blend beautifully with each other. So I really just wanted this like wash of color for today. And you guys can see I did play with some wet and dry options for some different textural things. And I could not review this palette and do a look without doing push liner. It would be doing Wayne a discredit because I know he's all about the push liner, and as someone who seems to be losing like lid space as I get older, I love that too. So if you guys want to see that, you can check out that look on Instagram. But I thought we'd just make this into a bit more like smoky, sultry look. All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to take our Kohl eyeliner in Precious Opal and just really get a thicker line of that really close to my lash line. And I'm just gonna work one eye at a time here because then we'll be able to compare side to side, but also because I don't want this kohl to like set down before I can smudge it out. All right, now I'm gonna take this pencil brush into that black shade and just run this over the top and really make this like beautiful and smudgy. Now, the best way to kind of like smudge out a liner is when you're closer to the lash line, use more pressure, and then when you get up higher on your lid, you just use a little less pressure so you're not like continuing to pull all of that product up. Otherwise you'll end up, never really like blurring it out fully. And then I'm just going back in with that pencil brush and really packing that black matte close to the lash line. And I'm doing the same on the bottom, but just with that like outer third. So I laid down some of that Kohl pencil, and then I'm going through with that black and just pulling it out a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna take this number 4 brush. Oh, I should mention that I have sort of like Wayne's first launch of eye brushes and his second one. So there are 2 different like sets, so I have both, so I still use and love both of them. So this is the number 4. I believe this is from the first collection, but I'm gonna take some of that copper rose and also some of the black and mix them together to kind of smoke out this outer corner. And then on a number 16, just taking that copper rose shade and blurring that out a little bit. All right, so now you guys can see we've just got this like nice, sexy, smudgy. It's kind of giving me like autumn vibes too. I think this is gonna be a really great palette to pull out in the fall and winter. Now I'm gonna go ahead with that Kohl and just throw it on my lower waterline and then add another coat of mascara because you can never have too much mascara. I really like that. Okay, so I think just for fun, let's try taking this shade. Now I know that Wayne had said that this will obviously work best using your fingertip, but I'm just gonna use a little flat brush and we will just pop this right into that inner corner. And sorry, Wayne, I don't have a little tiny flat brush of yours, but this will work. I'm just gonna go ahead with a quick setting mist just because I think that that makes eye makeup all look like smoothed out and just really part of the skin. And then we will go through with my final thoughts. Okay, so here we have it. We have our beautiful, easy, quick daytime look and then our sultry, smoky, sexy nighttime look. And let me know down below which look that you prefer. So just to give you guys a little bit of my thoughts about this palette, I personally would say that this is a 9 out of 10 for me because I knew exactly what it was gonna be when I purchased it. It was gonna be a great set of basics that I could have for either like quick, I don't even wanna think about it, I know I can just pull this out and it'll always look good, or things that I can pair with other palettes. And I think that these colors are exactly what I'm always looking for in palettes when I feel like there's something missing. So for instance, like I'm always like, oh, I wish I could find like maybe a warm color to throw in my crease, or some palettes that don't have a nice shimmer shade for a highlight, or a lot of palettes are missing a black. And I know that Wayne said that every single palette he does will have a black in it because he really thinks that it's great to be able to transform colors with, and I would agree with that. So again, this is going to be great to pair with other palettes. Like for instance, I know Wayne and Mel Thompson are friends, and Mel just launched her Tiny Marvels palette with Sydney Grace, which by the way, I'll be doing a review on soon as it gets to me in the mail. But I think that those two palettes will work really well together because I know there's not a black in that palette, and you could certainly use a couple of these more like subdued shades in that palette. And that's one thing that I will say about this is I really think it's a very like filtered wash of color type palette. If you are looking for that like electric, super metallic, or like very, very vibrant tones, that's not what you're gonna get out of this. And I think that that's pretty evident. So I don't think that, you should be surprised, but I think that, that's apparent. This is really a formula that is meant to look good on everybody. And the more metallic you go, the more like creases and little wrinkles in the eye will show up. So the fact that most of these, even at their best, are more of like that satin shimmer, not like super high gloss, that doesn't surprise me. And the shades are very blendable. The pigment is there, but it's not like the most saturated crazy pigment, which I think makes it more user-friendly. The more pigment you have, the more it can tend to like look a little like patchy, or they don't blend well together. So who do I think this is for? This is for a neutral lover. This is for someone who travels a lot, or did travel a lot. I think that this will be great because it's so compact. Like I said, you'll be able to throw this in your makeup bag and it will be a great addition. I also think this is a great one, like I said, to pair with more colorful palettes. So I am very happy for Wayne. I am so proud of him. His makeup launches have just been gorgeous. Like I said, I didn't pick up any of the lip ones just because I'm really trying to like use up what I have a little bit, but they do look beautiful. Everybody that I know that's gotten them just raves about them. So Wayne, I'm so excited for you. Thank you for being such an amazing presence here on YouTube, and thank you for sharing your secrets with everybody. I really value you as a makeup artist, and it's been incredible to see what you've created over the years. But by the way, Wayne, if you ever actually watch this video, could you bring back the number 18? This is like my favorite of all time brush. This lays down shimmers like almost like a trowel, right? Like it just goes right on, looks beautiful. I have 2 of these and I will be like treasuring these for the rest of my life. So bring this back. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. I hope you really enjoy Jennifer's channel. She is such a sweet soul. I'm really enjoying getting to know her, and I think you guys will really love her channel. So don't forget to check out Jennifer over at My Decadent Life. I know you will really love her. And thanks again for hanging out with me today. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you really soon. I will say that I do think